Going from 20% to 10% body fat is literally a game changer. You go from looking like every average Joe on the street to someone lean and mean. You look effortlessly good in clothes, your face gets more chiseled, you become a more attractive and confident version of yourself. In this video, we're going to get into how to cut your body fat percentage in half. The first point is don't focus on body fat metrics. You know, when you hold some machine and they tell you like your body fat is actually 19.6% and then this much is your muscle mass and this much is your bone mass, and you get this breakdown of your body, and all those digits are just going to make you more confused. It's going to make you feel worse because your body fat's always going to be higher than you expected. And what's worse is that those indexes, those measurements, those machines aren't always accurate. In fact, they're notoriously inaccurate. Instead, what do you want to do? You want to focus on strength, and that's going to improve your body fat percentage. Because think about it, everything stays the same. You increase your muscle mass, your body fat percentage is going to go down. All these other metrics are just going to serve to confuse and overwhelm you. Next point, set a clear weight goal, not just in your body weight, but in the gym. If you are doing a bench press, you want to aim to get stronger, right? So if you're bench pressing 60 kilograms, you're thinking to yourself, I want to get to 70 kilograms. You'd be surprised how many people don't actually think in these terms. They just go in the gym and endlessly repeat the same kind of sets and reps with a vague idea of going heavier and heavier. But if you have that clear number in your mind, you're going to have so much more clarity, and it's going to actually pull you towards that goal much faster. Same thing with measuring your actual body weight. If you're someone that's consistently measuring your weight on the scale and you have a goal weight, for example, when I was going from my average chubby state at 85 kilograms to 70 kilograms, first it started as early 70s, I want to be around 73, and then when I got around 75, I was like, it's probably going to be around 71, 70 kilograms, and then I got there. Okay, so that's the thing to be focusing on, my weight and my strength. Next point, you want to be aiming for 6 to 12 months ahead. How many of these fitness influencers and YouTubers and all these programs and products, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to your amazing perfect body, has that ever worked for you? How's that turned out? A 30-day transformation. Those things never work. They're actually bad for your health and your psyche and your mental health. Then you're like, oh, I gotta do it again, that extreme thing. So diets are really difficult because every time I try it, I'm trying to do this extreme thing. Do you see what's happening? Then you just don't do it ever again because you're like, oh my god, I remember the last 3 times I did it, I had to do this, it was crazy. And even if you don't logically think this, your internal body, the body memory keeps that. Don't be doing that. Instead, you want to aim for at least 6 months, I would say more like 12 months ahead. Just think 1 year, even 2 years ahead, and say, okay, over the next year, I'm gonna slowly reduce my body fat percentage from 27% to 13%. Now that is doable. It's actually the smartest way to do it because you're more likely to keep the change at the end of it. The whole of my channel is based on this. It's like revolting against the fast-paced nature of the fitness industry because it never works, because you're changing something deeper than just what you see in the mirror. Next, you want to learn your binge eating triggers and try to reduce them. So when you do that binge eating episode, you need to think, okay, now let's be logical about it. Okay, I've gotten over the guilt and the shame. I'm back where I'm at. I'm back in the gym. Let me be logical about what actually caused that episode. I was out drinking with friends. It usually happens on the weekend. It starts off with alcohol and then goes into fast food, and then you come home and then you have munchies, you have ramen. So what are the triggers? In this case, the trigger might be going out drinking with your friends, or the extreme alcohol, or that first bit of fast food. Then you come home and it's having easily accessible processed ramen within arm's reach. Can you tell I'm speaking from experience? So these are the triggers that make it more likely for me to binge eat, which is obviously not good for reducing my body fat. The more you become self-aware, the more you learn about your own triggers, the better it's going to be for you, because sometimes all it takes is just realizing these triggers, because then eventually, if you're smart enough, you'll be like, all right, maybe if I do it again, I'm probably going to binge eat again, so I should reduce it. Next thing is stress. When you have a lot of stress, you're going to go to the fridge, you're going to take out that brownie, because in the moment that it's chewing and the dopamine and the sugar, you forget about your stress, or you're stressed but you're doing harm to your body to just say, screw it, I want to do more harm. Who does this? This is very, very common. You do not always want the best for yourself. Sometimes we want to destroy ourselves, and we just do it with self-harm by just eating when we know we shouldn't. Just screw it, because why not? But look at the fact that I'm able to address this, like publicly on a video. These are thought processes that have gone in my head, and I can share them with you because I've taken time to be like, this is what I'm actually doing. So the next time it's about to happen, I'm like, wait, I'm about to just self-destruct here. Let me put a break on that. Learn your own triggers. Next point, walk 10,000 steps a day. This is probably the most practical tip that I can give you. I think Mr. Beast recently released a photo where he's basically made a really good body transformation from chubby body fat, maybe 25% to like maybe 14-15% body fat. And he said, I just lift weights and walked 10,000 steps a day. To be honest, it could be that simple. Even if you didn't know how to train well and you didn't follow minimalist training and you burnt out, but you just kind of just did what every other gym bro does and just started going to the gym, just doing something, and you just walk 10,000 steps consistently, your body fat will still drop very, very effectively. That's how simple it could be. Of course, I give you all these other tips to make it streamlined so that you can consistently stay on that process. But literally, it could be that simple. Lift weights, walk 10,000 steps a day. It's overpowered because it does not make you binge eat afterwards. Who's realized this binge eating trigger? You do 1 hour of sports with your friends, you've been sweating a lot, you feel like you just really did a lot of exercise, you internally pat yourself on the back, right? I deserve to eat it, come on, I trained so hard, like I can have that, I've earned it today. Who's done that? What you think you burnt in that boxing gym is not as much as you think, and you eat more than what you burnt, which is why your body fat doesn't go down. Do you understand? Whereas walking, it burns a lot of calories, probably more than you think, and doesn't cause that eventual hunger spike or the compensation effect of patting yourself on the back. Next, meditate and practice self-gratitude. This is an extremely important point. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's going to freak you out. You will probably fail in changing your body fat set point. That's the body fat that you think you are, that you've been used to since your puberty or teenage years. The only way to change that is to actually go through a deeper process of transformation where your identity kind of changes. If you see someone that's made a genuine body transformation, usually it's not just their body, their lifestyle and their self-perception, their self-concept, their self-identity. It's these things that have shifted a little bit. They're slightly different people, if not radically different people, at the end of that process. So it begs the question, like, how do you shift the identity? And one of those things is practicing meditation and self-gratitude. How does that affect identity? When you become present, when you practice meditation, you are letting go of a lot of the things that hold you and bind you to the past and binds you to a desire for the future. You're kind of letting go and just appreciating the moment, appreciating all the faults that you have, all the guilt, all the pain, just letting it come, letting it go without judgment. How important do you think that is when it comes to letting go of your past self, your past identity? Sounds pretty smart, right? Sounds pretty smart. What about self-gratitude? A lot of the letting go of the past self, the reason it's so hard is because there's so much pain associated with our past, with our body that we've lived through. So we're attached to the pain. We're kind of just trapped in it. So self-gratitude is kind of shifting the perspective and bringing gratitude to the good sides of your body, bringing gratitude to the fact that you have a body, that you can walk, that you are alive, that you can feel these things. And just shifting those perspectives makes you more accepting of the situation that you're in, which opens the door for a new self to develop. That brings me on to the last point. We live in a distracted world. Have you not realized? There's like all these videos down the side of your screen right now. You're about to click off, you're wondering what is going on. We're all distracted, and the person that can focus and stay consistent just wins in sports, in business, in music, in martial arts. So focus is the superpower that you need to develop, and the same goes for transforming your body. When you're on this journey, don't start telling all your friends and your family about the progress that you made. Look how amazing, like, because you're just trying to get that dopamine feedback loop from them. Don't do that. When you find momentum and you see a bit of progress, do the opposite. Keep it all under wraps, almost deliberately secretive. Don't even mention it. Maybe you have a separate community that you're accountable to, or your best friend that always like supports you. You can share with them, but just the general people, don't even share that stuff with them. It's sacred. That momentum is sacred. Keep it under wraps and just stay focused, stick to it, and make your progress. That's it for today. See you in the next video.